After calling the president a clear and present danger at those contentious hearings, Democrats in Congress now expected to reveal the articles of impeachment, including abuse of power, obstruction of Congress. Our team standing by.
Tourist tragedy. 9 Americans now confirmed to be part of that group there during the deadly volcano eruption in New Zealand. The new images emerging just moments after the explosion, and the search for those still missing. As we hear from survivors, the newlywed couple from Virginia sending a message from the hospital, and the hero father and daughter who turned their boat around to save others as the demand for answers grows.
Breaking news, a plane going missing in midair with 38 people on board, disappearing on the way to Antarctica. The desperate search right now.
New questions for the New England Patriots after the organization admits to inappropriately filming the field and sideline while scouting an opposing team. Were they cheating? The NFL investigating.
Ice Bucket Hero. Tributes pouring in right now for the man who inspired the viral challenge, helping raise nearly $250 million to fight ALS.
It's the final countdown.
And Battle of the Buzzer, our exclusive with the Jeopardy geniuses, about to face off in a first-of-its-kind showdown. Ken, James, and Brad. Who will be named the greatest of all time? And does Alex Trebek have a favorite?
Good morning, America.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
We certainly do say Good Morning America on this Tuesday morning, and we are excited to see that Jeopardy showdown.
Yeah, the GOAT tournament, the greatest of all time. There are three best players in Jeopardy history are going to face off. They have $1 million on the line.
Still smiling now.
I would be too.
We have a lot of news to get to this morning as well, beginning with another critical day in the impeachment showdown. Driving toward a vote by Christmas, House Democrats will unveil at least 2 articles of impeachment against President Trump this morning, including abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. Our senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega tracking all the latest. Good morning, Cecilia.
George, good morning to you. President Trump said that he wanted this to happen fast, and he is now getting that wish. Democrats unveiled this impeachment inquiry just about 2.5 months ago, and now they are set to unveil these impeachment articles of impeachment. A lawyer for the Democrats saying yesterday that they are moving this quickly because President Trump represents a, quote, clear and present danger to our elections. This morning, a major turn in the impeachment inquiry. House Democrats expected to unveil at least 2 articles of impeachment against President Trump. Sources telling ABC News the charges have not been finalized, but they will likely focus on obstruction and abuse of power. The move sets the stage for the House Judiciary Committee to publicly take up the articles for debate and approval as soon as Thursday. Democrats working late into the night to draft those articles after that tense, nearly 10-hour hearing, where both sides laid out their final arguments. Republicans calling the inquiry an abuse of power.
You're going to try to overturn the result of an election with unelected people giving testimony.
Gentlemen will suspend.
We don't have a crime. We don't have anything we can actually pin, and nobody understands really what the majority is trying to do, except that interfere and basically make sure that they believe the president can't win next year if he's impeached.
While Democrats say they are moving fast because the next election is at risk.
President Trump violated his oath to the American people. He placed his own private interests ahead of our national security and the integrity of our elections, and constitutes a continuing threat to the integrity of our elections and to our democratic system of government.
Okay, this is moving quickly, so here is the timeline coming up. After the Democrats announced these articles this morning, they are expected to take them up for a vote as soon as next week, definitely before the Christmas recess. This then heads to the Senate for a trial likely to take place in January. And Robin, that is where the president hopes that he can get a fair shake in the chamber that is controlled by his party.
All right, Cecilia, thank you. But this morning, the president is also reacting to that official watchdog report on the origins of the Russia investigation. Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas has those details for us. Good morning, Pierre.
Robin, good morning. The report found the Russia investigation was launched legally. No evidence of a political coup against President Trump, but the Justice Department watchdog did find serious failures by the FBI. The FBI director sitting down with us responding to it all. The Justice Department Inspector General revealing the FBI had enough evidence pointing to either a federal crime or threat to national security or both to justify launching the Russia probe at the height of the presidential election in 2016. The launch apparently not influenced by political bias. This despite years of the president and his allies calling the investigation a witch hunt.
It was illegal spying.
An attempted coup.
President Obama had to know about it.
But on a more narrow front, the Inspector General also issued this damning assessment, finding FBI officials made serious errors and omissions in applying for surveillance warrants to monitor the communications of a Trump campaign associate, Carter Page. Adding agents failed to meet the basic obligation to ensure the applications were scrupulously accurate. Agents did not tell DOJ attorneys about information that may have weakened their case for surveillance. In an exclusive interview with ABC News, FBI Director Christopher Wray saying extensive reforms are underway to address the IG's concerns.
There are actions described in this report that I consider unacceptable and unrepresentative of who we are.
But the president pounced.
This was an overthrow of government. This was an attempted overthrow, and a lot of people were in on it.
And this morning, the Attorney General William Barr, in a blistering statement, publicly challenging the report's findings, writing the Justice Department began an intrusive investigation of a U.S. presidential campaign on the thinnest of suspicions that were insufficient to justify the steps taken. Barr's position likely to please the president's allies, who believe he has been the victim of the so-called deep state. Charges rejected by the FBI director. Based on the findings in the Inspector General report, is the FBI, was it part of some deep state?
Well, I think that's the kind of label that is a disservice to the 37,000 men and women who work at the FBI. That's not a term I would ever use.
So the FBI did not spy on the Trump campaign?
Well, that's not a term at the FBI we use to describe our work.
Do you have any evidence that the FBI targeted the Trump campaign unfairly?
I don't.
Wray said he respects Barr, but the two men clearly have a different point of view on the launch of the Russia probe. And Wray warned that the Russians had not only aggressively attacked the 2016 election, they're still at it, the biggest threat to the 2020 election. George?
Okay, Pierre, thanks very much. Let's bring in our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams, for more on this. We showed President Trump in Pierre's piece. He called this a coup, illegal spying, said that President Obama knew, all completely debunked by the Inspector General's report.
Right, so 4 times the Inspector General in the report asked the question, was this motivated based on politics? And the answer again and again was no, on everything from the start of the investigation to the use of undercover sources to even the applications for the FISA warrants. None of it, the Inspector General found, was based on politics. But there were serious mistakes made with regard to the FISA applications. But it's important to separate out the two, right? You've got the beginning of the investigation, which is the most important question, which is they're investigating someone associated with the Trump campaign. And on that one, the IG is saying that it was valid for them, at least based on what they had and the low standard that existed, to begin the investigation. It was part 2, which was the FISA application of Carter Page, who no longer worked on the campaign, that they were much more critical of.
And now we have the House Democrats moving forward on impeachment, zeroing in on 2 articles.
Yeah, and I think that these are the 2 most understandable articles, right? One is abuse of power. You don't have to get into the definition of what was bribery at the time of the Constitution versus what is bribery today. You can just lay out all of your grievances, basically, in abuse of power.
Personal interests above the national.
Exactly. And then number 2 is obstruction of Congress. And the answer to that one is he just instructed people again and again not to show up. I mean, it's pretty easily. Now, his response is going to be, I had concerns about various privileges, et cetera. But those are really the 2 most understandable of the complaints. And there's going to be a lot of dialogue, though.
You'll be here for the unveiling at 9 a.m. Dan Abrams, thanks very much. Michael?
All right, thank you, George. We're going to go overseas now to that deadly volcano eruption in New Zealand. This morning, we now know 9 Americans were there during the explosion that killed at least 6 people. Some are still accounted for. ABC's Marcus Moore is there starting us off with the very latest. Good morning, Marcus.
Oh, Michael, good morning. In the time that we have been on the ground here in New Zealand, we have watched steam rising from the volcano more than a day after it erupted. And officials here say there's a 50% chance there could be another eruption as the death toll climbs higher. New video showing the moments after that deadly eruption. You can hear panicked tourists watching in disbelief. Nature's fury in full view.
To those who have lost or are missing family and friends, we share in your unfathomable grief at this moment in time and in your sorrow.
47 people, including 9 Americans, were on Whakaari volcano Monday when it erupted. ash soaring 12,000 feet into the air. This morning, 6 are confirmed dead, while 31 remain in the hospital, a majority of them suffering burns over 30% of their bodies, and officials warn that some could still lose their lives.
It's important not to underestimate the gravity of the injuries suffered. It is possible that not all of the patients will survive, but at this stage, everybody is receiving the care that they require.
According to officials, Americans are among the 8 still missing on the island, but police say a flyover Monday showed, quote, no signs of life.
The pilot that went out there and spent about 45 minutes has provided a pretty good indication that we do not believe anybody else has survived that explosion.
Matthew and Lauren Urey, newlyweds from Virginia, were on their honeymoon visiting the island when that volcano erupted. Matthew's mother is sharing the voicemail. She says her son left after the eruption with Inside Edition.
This isn't a joke. The volcano actually erupted while we were on the island. Lynn and I got pretty badly burned, so we're at a hospital in New Zealand. My hands are burned, so I can't use my phone.
This image taken from a webcam shows a group of people inside the crater. It was taken minutes before the explosions. Some of the tourists trapped on the island were passengers on the Ovation of the Seas cruise ship. It is still docked at a nearby port. American Michael Shade shooting this video. He and his family had just left the island 20 minutes before it erupted. Shade snapping this photo of a group huddled on a pier, a wrecked helicopter behind them smothered in the ash. Father and daughter Jeff and Liliani Hopkins were in their tour boat when the volcano erupted, and they turned that boat around to begin the rescue.
We just started to treat people, the best we could, but everybody was horrifically burnt.
We had 23 on the boat that we had, and 5 of those are now deceased.
Rescue helicopters combing the island, lifting some of the injured back to shore for treatment.
There remains significant uncertainty about any future activity.
But so far, first responders have not been able to return to comb the rocky moon-like terrain by foot. The island deemed too dangerous. And the family that owns the island has said that they are absolutely heartbroken by what's happened here, and they sent their condolences to the affected families. But Robin, officials still have not been able to go and do a thorough search of that volcano because they say it is just still too unstable.
Still. All right, Marcus, thank you. New details now on the sudden death of rapper Juice WRLD. Police saying drugs, guns, and prescription codeine were all found on the 21-year-old's plane just moments before his medical emergency. Alex Perez is at Chicago Midway Airport with more. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Robin. This all unfolded at the part of the airport where private planes land. We now know officials were working from a tip when they met the plane.
But I am the better one, I won't let you forget me.
This morning, we're learning more about the night rapper Juice WRLD died just a short time after his private jet landed at Chicago's Midway Airport. We now know investigators working on a tip had actually met the aircraft to search it for firearms. Law enforcement, along with a police dog, discovering in the luggage 6 prescription bottles of suspected liquid codeine, 3 guns, and 41 bags of marijuana reportedly weighing 70 pounds. TMZ obtaining this image of what they claim is the luggage. As investigators searched the plane, the 21-year-old rapper, whose real name was Jared Higgins, began to have a medical emergency, seizures.
Get an ambulance inside the Atlantic Airport. They've got a guy seizuring in here.
According to TMZ, the rapper may have ingested several painkillers in an attempt to hide them from authorities. Authorities telling us they administered 2 doses of Narcan, a drug which can counteract an overdose, before Higgins was rushed from the airport to a hospital where he later died. Now, authorities say there were no name tags on that luggage and drug charges have not been filed in this case. Officials are now conducting further toxicology tests to determine what exactly may have caused the rapper's death. Michael?
All right, thanks so much, Alex. And now we're going to turn to the tributes that are pouring in overnight for the man behind the Ice Bucket Challenge, Peter Frates, who lost his battle with ALS at just 34 years old. Will Reeve is here, and will he leave behind a legacy of courage and inspiration?
Absolutely, Michael. There are certain people who change the world in the brief time they have, and Pete Frates is one of them. He died yesterday after a public battle with ALS. He leaves behind a wife, a daughter, and a legacy that captivated and inspired millions and redefined the future for millions more. He was the driving force behind the movement that flooded our social media feeds. Pete Frates, once a Boston College baseball star, at just 27 years old, diagnosed with ALS, becoming an advocate and a hero.
For a young guy like myself to be diagnosed, hopefully I can use my youth and the networks that I'm part of to promote some awareness.
Galvanizing the Ice Bucket Challenge in 2014 to raise money and awareness for ALS.
I'm proud to take the Ice Bucket Challenge.
Touching everyone from Bill Gates to Oprah to those of us at GMA. The challenge raising hundreds of millions of dollars to help fight the progressive terminal condition, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, that slowly ravages physical functions. Bringing profound hope for the future for people like Sarah Olson. She's being treated with Radicava, one of only 2 treatments available to ALS patients. It was fast-tracked and approved in part because of the Ice Bucket Challenge.
If it's helping, yeah, that's months on my life that because of Pete, I have that chance.
Frates lived a full life in the years after his diagnosis, marrying his love, Julie, who participated in the Ice Bucket Challenge while pregnant with their daughter, Lucy, an event the little girl would soon recall with pride.
My mommy dumped water on her hand when she had her black dress on. I was actually there.
Pete Frates died at 34 years old. His name, his impact, and his legacy will live forever. Tributes to Frates have been coming in from everywhere since he died, and one that perhaps he and his family would be most proud of. The ALS Association tweeting that Pete Frates changed the trajectory of ALS forever and showed people how to live with a fatal disease. I think he showed people how to live, period.
Yes, absolutely. He did. He certainly did.
Special person.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, really, really touching to know that he existed at the same time we did.
Mm-hmm. And touched so many of us.
Yes.
Thank you, Will. We are following a lot of other stories this morning, including new trouble for the New England Patriots. Possible spy scandal, what the Patriots are saying about it now.
And the Golden Globes outrage, women shut out of key categories again. The backlash this morning. But first, let's go over to Ginger.
And Robin, you know, this state trooper sliding into cars only happens when you have temperatures near 50 dropping to 17 in less than 24 hours. That was Omaha, Nebraska. That little light layer of snow on top of it making for a major mess. Close to Des Moines, Iowa, highways closing down because of huge pileups. And unfortunately, I think with that huge push of Arctic air, we're going to end up seeing stuff like this happening anywhere from Tennessee today into the Northeast tomorrow. So please watch this as we pop out this region, because this is where we're going to see the big impacts. See all the green on the map? That's the mild air. You can see the streamlines bringing in those southerly winds. Well, that is going to flip. We're going to go from 60 in Philadelphia to tomorrow morning, watch all the blue take over all the states. And this includes, of course, Connecticut and Massachusetts too. But temperatures will drop to freezing or below that. So tomorrow morning you could easily see issues. You're also going to have a little fresh snow. So if you get even an inch of snow on top of all of this, it's going to be a problem. And then I want to bring you to the temperatures, because that plunge is serious. Coldest air for many people in the northern plains. When you have numbers like this, it only takes 10 minutes and you can get frostbite. All right, Tuesday Trivia now, brought to you by Target.
For all the season's greeters, for the gingerbread architects, the lighting Jedi, and the gift detectives, for the family historians and tradition twisters, for all the families, big, small, chosen, and frozen. Whatever you give, however you gather, we're thinking of you.
Take the umbrella today and a warm jacket too. Temperatures will be hovering around 50 to about 59 degrees. Most of our rain late morning through the afternoon hours, and then later during the overnight period we'll transition to snow. A slushy 1 to 2 inches most locations. That's just enough for Leesburg, Gaithersburg, up around Frederick, even Warrenton to probably have some delays tomorrow. It's going to be cold midweek. 38 the high on Thursday. Wind chills in the teens to 20s. The weekend, another weather maker comes in late Friday.
Sure do appreciate you joining us for your Tuesday morning, and we'll be right back.
With employee pricing for all, the greatest gifts aren't found in a store. They're out there, gift wrapped in snow. So what are you waiting for? Get out there.